Hi family, what's up? How are you guys doing today? So today I'm gonna be talking about my Kundalini awakening, which happened back in 2019 during COVID. So just to backtrack, how did we get here to the Kundalini awakening in the first place? Well, I was working a job and I just was unhappy. I felt stuck and I didn't know where I'm going, what I'm doing. I was doing a lot of stuff for myself, getting my master's degree, and I was very stressed, and I was working on my bachelor's and master's. So I was just overworked and underpaid. They didn't pay me well enough. So with all that, I was just going on the grind and, trying to better myself. And I was trying to do a lot of things, start a business. I was a massage therapist and I was working for a corporate company, and all they did was just suck my energy out of me, my life and my soul. So I was just trying to start a business, get something going on for myself, going to school at the same time, and I just felt like my life wasn't going in the right direction, and I was just making a lot of bad financial problems, financial mistakes, kind of just not, I was going to school, so I was spending a lot and paying for many things and not being very mindful. And all of a sudden, 2019, when COVID came, I started to get this really intense panic and anxieties, and it just kept coming up, and I thought the world was going to end when COVID happened, and I just thought that this was the ending of the world. And so my mind was just literally burnt out, and I didn't have any work at that time, so basically I was just trying to survive on what little I had, because I was living paycheck to paycheck. And so I was just figuring it out, what am I gonna do? And then I was just figuring whether, oh no, I just have to, take care of my finances, because I was just stressed out. And all of a sudden, I was living in a really bad habit too. Mind you, I was not having sex, and I was celibate for 10 years. But during my celibacy, I had a lot of sexual energy and sexual lust. So I was into, the P word, and I was just masturbating a lot, especially when it was COVID, and I was just doing a lot of masturbation and, watching the P word. And all of a sudden, one day when I was doing that, I could feel this pop that was on my sacrum, which is my butt area, and it just kind of made this pop sound, and I was that's strange, because I get really in touch with my body, doing a lot of what I was doing. And so it just popped, and I was that is strange, I've never had that feeling before. And it started to tingle and tingle, And I was like, this is kind of weird. And then I could just feel this energy just kind of coming up and up my spine and up my body, and I was just freaking out. And I was panicking, so I rushed to the restroom, and I was just looking in the mirror and trying to go to the toilet, and like pee. And I was like, okay, this is so weird. And then I could just feel like something just like a snake serpent, like just crawling up my body. And all of a sudden I was trying to like pull it down. I was just trying to pull the energy down, not having it go up when it should be going up. So I was like pulling it down, and all of a sudden it went all the way up to my crown. It kind of came up, and it went to my throat, and then it went to my crown. And I was just like, something just exploded out of my crown. It was kind of like when like you have an orgasm almost. And so it just exploded out of my crown, and I just felt like this like sparkling, glittering coming down towards my head. And like I was like channeled, so it was like something, my things was like coming down towards my head, like a water divine light. And all of a sudden I was like, I've never felt this before, and I was thinking I should go to the hospital. And so I was like freaking out. I was like, should I go to the emergency, or should I go to the, and I was just like, I should. So it was interesting because like a month prior to my awakening, I've like had 2 THC gummy bears, and they were small. And I don't know, like I don't think that's related, but I was just like, okay, what could it be? But I think what happened was that I was just doing a lot of masturbation, and the Kundalini energy is based on a sexual energy, which is from a system based in India, and it's known as Shiva and Shakti. And when I talked to like a priest in India, they say that it's from my past lives, which is followed me to this life. And so so whatever karma I had from past life came to this life. And I knew that I was like, in my past life, I was very like, I had a very like strong Kundalini and sexual energy. So it kind of like came and followed me from this DNA. And that's why I was doing a lot of that. And that's when my energy like opened up to a whole different realm. And when my awakening happened that day, I was like doing these weird, like I was doing yoga poses, what you call a Surya Namaskar, which is like a praying meditation pose. So I was trying to, the energy was still moving around me, so I was kind of like wobbling back and forth. And then I was doing this like yoga pose, like sun pose, and then I was sitting down and trying to meditate. And then all of a sudden I was like moving around a lot, and I was just like, I felt like I was just shedding this whole lifetime, like many karmic lifetime and cycles, and I just felt like I wanted to like literally like vomit. I was like very nauseous, and I had like really like upset stomach. My sacral chakra was hurting, and I just wanted to like throw up, and I just didn't like my body. It was just like disgusting, and I was just like, oh, what's wrong? Like, this is like abnormal, and I've never experienced that before in my whole life. So it was pretty like scary, and it was like, but eventually the second episode, I want to talk more about what happened and where it went from there, like the voices and the physical experience and the visions that I had. So I'll talk more about that, and thanks for listening to me. Please watch my channel, subscribe, and you could check out my website. Thank you. Bye.
She's an empath. She feels the emotions of others like they're her own, often carrying the weight of their struggles without a second thought. Her heart is wide open, absorbing joy, pain, and everything in between. She has an incredible ability to understand and support people without needing to be asked, but sometimes she forgets to take care of herself. Her kindness is her strength, but it can also be her vulnerability. She listens more than she speaks, always offering a shoulder or words of comfort. Even when she's hurting, she puts others first, never wanting anyone to feel alone. It's this selfless nature that makes her irreplaceable. Yet sometimes, she needs reminding that it's okay to let others carry her for a change. She's the quiet force that heals, even when she doesn't realize the power she holds. If this hits home, comment, "She is me," or share this with the person on your mind, and don't forget to follow, because this page is for you.